Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Brittney Bogues with us. She's an entrepreneur and advocate. So welcome to the show, Brittney.
Hi, thank you for having me, Tyler.
Of course. Thanks for joining us, Brittney. We'll dive in. The first question I have for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Sure. So about 3 years ago, my aunt was diagnosed with cancer, and quickly after she passed away. And so one of those things that she told me before passing was that she really wishes that she would have taken a little more care of herself and gotten checkups and really paid attention to her health. And so by her telling me that, I am very conscious about what I eat, how I live, how much I sleep, and working out, because, it can really affect you in the long term. So it was definitely a valuable lesson in that.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. The next question I have for you is, what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Sure. So I work in the communication, events, and public affairs space. And so a really important piece of advice would be, business is about building relationships. So it sounds simple, but it's kind of complex. You have to nurture and really grow a relationship, which takes time and also authenticity.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
Sure. Set goals and have a clear plan of action, and take a leap of faith.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
I would definitely tell my younger self to be more confident in who you are, and don't be afraid to speak up, and just go after everything you want. You can speak things into existence.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
I have to say, key to happiness is being grateful and just being present in the moment.
And what's the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
I guess my favorite book is Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. And I love how it talks about that your point is you're simply the natural ability requires a huge investment of time in order to make it a manifest.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
My favorite quote is, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style," by Maya Angelou.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
Sure. So people can visit my portfolio online, which is www.brittneybogues.com. So BrittneyBogues. And on Instagram and Twitter, my handle is @BrittBogues, and you can find me there.
Perfect. Thank you again. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.